Hey there, and welcome to Uncommon Curiosities. Today, we're going to be exploring some of the most bizarre and mind-boggling facts from real life. From animals that can live without a brain to a man who lived with a bullet in his head for years. These are the kind of things that make us stop and wonder. So, let's get started. Story 1, the immortal jellyfish. Have you ever heard of the immortal jellyfish? It's a small jellyfish that can actually live forever. When it gets old or sick, it can actually transform itself back into a polyp stage, essentially starting its life cycle all over again. Scientists have been studying this creature for years, hoping to uncover the secret to its immortality. Story 2, the man who lived with a bullet in his head. In 2011, a man named William Lawless Pace was found to have a bullet in his head. That had been there for over 90 years. When he was just 8 years old, he accidentally shot himself in the head with a .22 caliber rifle. But because the bullet didn't hit any vital organs, doctors decided to leave it there. William lived the rest of his life with the bullet in his head. And it didn't cause him any major problems until he started experiencing seizures in his 90s. Story 3, the fish that can live on land. Believe it or not, there are fish out there that can actually live on land. One such fish is the mangrove killifish, which is found in parts of Central and South America. When its watery habitat dries up, the fish can actually survive out of water by breathing air and even walking on land. Story 4, the woman who lived with a beehive inside her eye. In 2018, a woman in Taiwan went to the doctor complaining of a swollen eye. It turns out she had 4 bees living inside her eye, feeding on her tears. The bees had been attracted to her sweat and had flown into her eye, where they decided to make a hive. Thankfully, the doctors were able to remove the bees and save the woman's sight. Story 5, the world's most venomous animal. You might think that the most venomous animal in the world is a snake or spider, but it's actually the box jellyfish. Found in the waters around Australia and Southeast Asia, the box jellyfish's venom is so potent that it can cause heart failure and death within minutes. Its tentacles are covered in thousands of tiny, harpoon-like stingers that can inject venom into its prey or attackers. Story 6, the man who ate a plane. Yes, you read that right. A man named Michel Lotito actually ate an entire plane over the course of 2 years. Lotito, who was known as Monsieur Mange Tout, or Mr. Eat All, was able to consume the plane by breaking it down into small pieces and washing it down with mineral oil and water. He's also eaten bicycles, shopping carts, and even a Cessna aircraft. Story 7, the fish that can electrocute you. The electric eel is not actually an eel, but a type of fish found in the Amazon basin of South America. It's able to generate electrical shocks of up to 600 volts, which it uses to stun prey or defend itself from predators. Its ability to produce electricity comes from special organs in its body called electrocytes. Story 8, the man who had trees growing inside his lungs. Our next story takes us to Massachusetts, where a man named Ron Svaden went to the doctor because he was having trouble breathing. Doctors took an X-ray and found that there was something strange in his lungs. After further examination, they found that Ron had small trees growing inside his lungs. Ron had inhaled a seed of a small plant, and it had taken root in his lungs, growing into a small tree. Doctors were able to remove the tree and Ron made a full recovery. However, this is an incredibly rare occurrence, and you definitely don't want to try inhaling any seeds. So there you have it, 8 bizarre and unbelievable stories from real life. But we're not done yet, we have 2 more stories left that will leave you wondering how they could possibly be true. Don't forget to leave a comment below and let us know which story was the most shocking to you. Story 9, the man who had a twin growing inside his body. In 2007, a man named Sanju Bhagat from India went to the doctor because he was having trouble breathing and experiencing abdominal pain. Doctors were shocked to find that Sanju had a tumor in his stomach that was actually his twin brother. Sanju was diagnosed with a rare condition called fetus in fetu, where one twin gets trapped inside the other during development. Doctors were able to successfully remove the tumor and Sanju made a full recovery. This condition is extremely rare, with only about 200 cases ever reported, but it's still a shocking and bizarre occurrence. Story 10, The man who survived being impaled by a fence post. Our final story takes us to the UK, where a man named Andrew Edwards was impaled by a fence post in a freak accident. The post went straight through his head, narrowly missing his brain and vital organs. Miraculously, Andrew survived the ordeal and even managed to call for help on his cell phone while the post was still stuck in his head. He was rushed to the hospital and the post was successfully removed. Andrew made a full recovery and is now doing well, but his story is one that will leave you in awe. And there you have it, 10 bizarre and unbelievable stories from real life. From a woman with a beehive in her eye to a man with trees growing inside his lungs, these stories may seem too strange to be true, but they all actually happened. If you enjoyed this video, be sure to give it a thumbs up and subscribe to our channel for more uncommon curiosities. Don't forget to leave a comment below and let us know which story shocked you the most. Thanks for watching.